For a pop-up haunted house, that's pretty good. The actors were on point. This one girl was doing bad.
Part 1. The abrasions of anxiety. The sterile, fluorescent glow of the hospital waiting room was a harsh reflector, illuminating the raw edges of their exhaustion. The air was thick, not just with recycled oxygen, but with fear, doubt, and the oppressive weight of the unknown. "My head's rocking," the woman muttered, a hand pressed to her temple. The dull throb was a physical manifestation of the mental turmoil. "Your head hurt." The response was delivered with a strained incredulity that was either genuine confusion or the kind of deliberate obtuseness that only familial tension can forge. "You got to be the blondest I've ever met sometimes." "The blondest? But let me tell you something. I thought if I got a migraine, does that not mean my head hurts?" "Well, how does it hurt? Does it hurt like up here or over here?" The questioning was a probe, not of concern, but of an escalating, frustrating impatience. The collective vibe was a volatile mixture of stress, fear, and doubt. The unknown future of Tammy's procedure was an invisible pressure cooker, making every sibling snappy, every tone harsh, and every emotion dangerously close to the surface. Part 2. The surgical status and the lopsided remark. A sudden interruption, a lifeline of information cutting through the toxic atmosphere, momentarily halted the escalating quarrel. "Hello. Hi, this is Chris." "Yes, ma'am. How you doing?" "Hi, Chris. It's Marissa from the hospital here with Tammy. Everything's going good both surgically and with anesthesia. Her left arm is completely done at this point. They did start on the belly and they're still working on the right face." A brief, desperate moment of relief washed over them. "Thank you for the update. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye." The connection severed. The brief truce shattered instantly. The anxiety, momentarily caged, clawed its way back out. Did she say she was done with her left face? The question was a seed of confusion, instantly seized upon by the mounting paranoia. No, she said that they were done with her right arm and they were still working on the left side of her face. A flicker of a dangerous idea crossed the line. Oh, so maybe they split sides. So one doctor did one side, one did the other. No, she going to have lopsided. The word hung in the air. Lopsided. It was a needle-sharp comment, a cruel jibe veiled as dark humor, a lightning rod for the unexpressed fury. Would you stop it? The explosion was immediate. I'm about to right now. And you know what you are? You're being AI expletive, RNA expletive all day to no reason for it. And you're being ridiculously. Well, then you know what you can do? You can keep your smart comments to yourself, and that's that. But your smart out to me is you've been AI expletive all day. Okay. Reel it in. Same thing. So stop. I have not. The conversation is over. I am not sitting and arguing. I am done. Part 3. The betrayal of a joke. The speaker, a sibling later identified as Chris, stepped away, his nerves frayed, his focus dissolving. The lopsided comment had struck a deep, vulnerable nerve. Tam's coming apart because everybody's stressed out, worried about Tammy. And then everything just comes across either pissy, harsh, or whatever. But when she popped off that smart comment about Tammy being lopsided, that just flew all over me because that could really happen. I have seen botched plastic surgery jobs, and I just don't even think that's something you need to be joking about. Chris, seeking a moment of internal recalibration, conceded a temporary loss of control. Chris kind of lost his mind for a minute. So, I just took a moment to get my thoughts together, and now I'm back. I don't even know what happened. It happened so quick. He articulated the core, unshakable truth. But in situations like this, at the end of the day, we're all scared. We're all tired, and we all want everything to just be over and done and Tammy to be okay. Ain't no time for this behavior. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. The exhausted agreement was an acknowledgement of the deeper, shared distress. Part 4. The Snorlax interlude and the second update. The scene shifted slightly with the arrival of another sibling, late and bleary-eyed. Hey, what's up?
Hey, sis.
Oh, kind of overslept. You look like you still have sleep. That nickname ought to be Snorlax. Snorlord. I'm going to change her name in my phone to that. A fleeting moment of lighthearted mockery. A brief, shallow breath before plunging back into the tension.
I'm tired, Mom.
My little 2 hours of sleep last night wasn't enough. I think you figured out you're too old for this. I've been too old for that. Even when I was younger, I've always loved my sleep. They call it beauty sleep for a reason.
Damn it.
The phone rang again. All eyes snapped to the source. This was more important. Hello. Hi, this is Chris. Yes, ma'am. How you doing? Hey, Chris. It's Marissa again at the hospital here. So, the arms are completely done and they're still working on the belly, face, and neck, but everything is going smoothly. A collective, silent prayer was answered. Estimated time of being done, I would say around 6 or 7. So, if you guys want to head over to the hospital. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And we will be there. All right. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. Take care.
Part 5. The avalanche of resentment with the end in sight. The dam of patience finally broke. The logistical shift, moving to the hospital, did not calm the nerves. It merely accelerated the confrontation. Now, you loser. The barb was launched across the room. I'll call Mom and let her know what's going on. The recipient of the insult turned away, attempting to shield the conversation. Hey, Mom. The Tammy ought to be out in the next hour or so. We're heading over to the hospital like 5 or 10 after 6. And then, a small, frustrated sound escaped the speaker's lips. I can't help it.
I'm sorry.
I'm only human. The phrase was an attempt to justify an emotional lapse, but it fell on deaf ears. Be able to see her in the next 45 minutes after that. So, I just wanted you to know she's doing good. They're closing everything up and then...
Damn.
The interjection was not one of relief, but of profound annoyance. What the expletive is your problem? For real. Miss me with that for real. I'm only a human. The speaker, later revealed to be Amy, finally articulated the source of her profound distress, her voice strained by the need for validation. Amanda is feeling tired and overwhelmed because of my siblings. They're just nitpicking about everything I do. I'm like, damn. Who made y'all perfect? Who said y'all farts don't stink? I've had enough. And before I explode, I am going to peacefully duck out instead of explode and go to jail. The exit was abrupt, a dramatic statement of defeat and self-preservation. Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
The sibling left behind, Chris, turned to the remaining sister, fury now directed at the departed Amy. Man, I don't know what your sister's problem is, but you better get that on a leash with a quickness because I'm about to put her in check for real. He added a vulgar, dismissive comment that underscored his utter lack of sympathy. Plug that hole of hers. The remaining sister, trying to maintain a semblance of order, offered a defensive example of the perceived injustice. She going to come in here and pass gas. Don't even say, excuse me. And when I start gagging, want to get mad. Whatever. Chris, though furious, attempted to bring the focus back to the immediate, critical event. The greater purpose here is for Tammy's surgery. That's what we're here for, and that's what we're going to focus on. So if you need to be mad over there.
You can miss me with the rest of that.
Part 6. The tattered threads of the wedding Amy soon reappeared, drawn back by the gravity of the situation, but no less volatile. I'm ready to go to home. What the hell did I miss? Being here with my siblings and them back-talking me all day and everything. I'm tired of it. And soon as Tammy's awake, I'm gone. Tammy will understand. And if she don't, she ain't coming to my wedding. So I'm done. The threat, the ultimatum, was astonishing, a public declaration of emotional withdrawal. Like she heard me unconditionally, and now they're poking and prodded, so I'm done. My siblings don't care enough about me to go to my wedding, so I'm done with them. Then came the shattering statement, an act of emotional self-immolation. Tammy said nobody's coming, so I canceled it.
So y'all ain't got to worry about it.
Huh. Tammy, she wanted me to cancel it, so I canceled it. The lie, or the profound delusion, was immediately, vehemently challenged. No, she did not. No, there was nobody in the family that did not want you to marry Brian. We support you and anybody that you're happy with. We don't give a expletive. We support you happy. Chris's voice rose, cutting through the chaos to focus on the immediate crisis. That's what this is all about. This is not the time or place for Amy to be worried about her wedding venue or who is going to be there. The argument pivoted from familial support to a deeper, more fundamental conflict. The issue of attendance at the canceled wedding, specifically concerning religious beliefs. If you wanted to get married during a small little ceremony, you and Brian and whoever, that's fine.
Do you buh?
The tone was supportive, then hardened. I just do not want to be in that crown because, girl, they know I got enough demons inside me. I don't want to have one on my back. Part 7. The Reckoning of Loyalty, the Declaration. I just don't know how much that hurts me, was a seismic shock, a raw, unscripted confession of profound familial injury that finally cracked the wall of their furious defenses. The silence that followed was not one of peace, but of devastation, the realization dawning that in their shared stress, they had committed the gravest sin, cannibalizing their own loyalty. The sibling who had spoken the words of unwavering commitment, Chris, stood like a monument to betrayed faith. His offer to attend a wedding anywhere, from the blasted sands of the Sahara to the most sacred, Vatican-sanctioned chapel, was not hyperbole. It was the unconditional contract of brotherhood reduced to ashes by a simple, petty refusal based on a contested belief. This was the terrifying paradox of their situation. A crisis meant to unite them around their sister Tammy had instead become the catalyst for the unleashing of every pent-up grievance and slight collected over decades. The operating table was 1,000 miles away. The true surgery was happening right here, a painful, self-performed vivisection of the family's core. Chris finally broke the silence, his voice a low, dangerous rumble. We are standing here under the sword of Damocles, and you are worrying about who will wear what crown. The reference to the crown was a bitter echo of the earlier argument, a symbol of the misplaced priorities that were tearing them apart. Amy, retreating into the fortress of her own wounded ego, could only repeat the mantra of victimhood. You don't understand. The nitpicking. The way you all look at me. It's an insult to my life choices. Your life choices? Chris countered, his eyes blazing with the sheer magnitude of the disconnect. Tammy is under a knife. She is fighting for the very structure of her body, for her future, and your grand concern is whether your feelings are perfectly polished? You have manufactured a trauma, the cancellation of a wedding, to distract from the real, terrifying, life-or-death drama unfolding blocks from here. The third sister, Snorlax, or Snorlord, stepped forward, the haze of her exhaustion momentarily burned away by the heat of the confrontation. Amy, you used Tammy's condition as a weapon. You lied and said she wanted the wedding canceled. Do you hear the sound of that? It's the sound of you betraying the one person who is completely vulnerable right now. Part 8. The tyranny of self-preservation. Amy's denial was immediate and fierce, a defensive reflex that had been honed by years of family conflict. I am only human. The phrase, now repeated for the third time, was no longer a plea for forgiveness. It was a shield of entitlement, a declaration that her emotional instability superseded the needs of everyone else. Being only human doesn't give you license to be a detonation device, Chris shot back, pacing the length of the grim waiting area. Your peace, your escape before you explode and go to jail. As you so dramatically put it, that's all you care about. You will peacefully duck out of supporting the family, but you will violently explode the wedding plans to punish us. The younger sister interjected, a desperate voice of reason. We are all exhausted, Amy. We are all scared. Look at Chris. He's been a volcano all day. I've been sleeping through the apocalypse, and yet we are still here. We don't get to check out. This is the tether of family. You can't cut it when it gets heavy. Amy's eyes, however, were fixed on a distant, self-pitying horizon. They heard me unconditionally, she mumbled, referencing a past moment of familial grace, now corrupted and weaponized. And now they're poking and prodded, so I'm done. Chris stopped pacing, his body rigid. Unconditionally, he spat out the word. You use that like an investment you now demand a return on. Unconditional means I show up for your wedding even if it's in a place I despise. Unconditional means I listen when you complain about nitpicking while my mind is on scalpels and closing wounds. What you want isn't unconditional love, Amy. You want unquestioning servitude. Part 9. The call to the front lines, the time was upon them. The second update had stipulated a time to move. The siblings had to transition from the relative safety of the waiting room to the intense emotional front lines of the recovery area.
Stop.
Just stop, Chris commanded, his voice suddenly stripped of fury, replaced by a cold, resolute authority. The arguments, the wedding, the gas, it's over. It's noise. Static. The surgery is ending. Tammy is about to wake up in pain, covered in stitches, needing her family. And what will she see? A battlefield we made out of the one place she expected peace. He fixed his gaze, not on Amy, but on the remaining sister. The greater purpose still stands. We will walk in there now. We will put on the mask of unity. We will be her strength. If you need to be mad in the car. Be mad in the parking lot. But in that room, there is only one truth, and that truth is Tammy's survival. He grabbed his belongings, the decisive movement signaling the end of the argument and the beginning of their duty.
Amy.
You are coming with us. Not for us, but for her. You will hold your tongue. You will smile. And you will act like a sister who understands that for the next week, the only person whose feelings matter is the one who just endured 10 hours of being reconstructed. The command was